When spring arrives, the garden jolts into action and you can see new growth everywhere. But perhaps the most startling transformation comes from the roses, which go from being dormant and lifeless to racing into leaf, bud and bloom. So now's a great time to give them a rush of nutrients to promote vigorous growth and flowering. And if you're feeding the king of flowers, it's a really good idea to use a rose-specific food. That way you know it's tailor-made for an abundance of blooms. So through the warmer weather, this arbour will be smothered in flowers and foliage. Black marble rose food contains all the right nutrients and trace elements for a stellar display of roses. But here's the kicker. It's high in potash for bigger, more colourful blooms, and high in iron for greener leaves. So you get everything you're looking for in a rose: lush, healthy foliage and showy flowers. We normally associate the words fast-acting with a liquid fertiliser, but this is a concentrated, highly soluble formula that goes to work quickly. But it also gradually releases nutrients to plants, so you feed your roses for up to 2 months. And there's a soil wetter in there too, to make sure that when you apply water, it gets down to the roots where it's needed most. Roses really do give their all through the warmer months. They burst into bloom in spring, and repeat flowering varieties continue to be in the spotlight all the way through to autumn. Roses are a little like us. They like to be fed little and often to sustain all of that growth and activity. So give them a good dose of black marble rose food every 4 weeks throughout the growing and flowering season, and watch your rose garden blossom. Just because the packet says roses, you don't have to just use it on roses. It's also fabulous on all flowering plants. I also like to top dress roses with a good layer of compost and organic mulch in the spring. Just help nourish and improve the soil, conserve moisture and keep the weeds down. And when all that new growth starts to come through, just keep an eye out for early signs of disease and pesky aphids, which love to munch on the new foliage.